Welcome to Wayfarer 717. That sounded kind of dorky when I said it out loud. But anyways, thank you for being here. This is my very first YouTube video doing this. So if you're here because you were guided here, great, because that was the intention. If you're here because you're one of the very few that knew I was doing this and who's going to get this afterwards, thank you for coming and supporting me. I am nervous. I don't like being in front of a camera, and I wouldn't if I had the proper setup to show the cards. I am working in very limited space here, but we're going to do this thing. My name's Nichole, if I didn't say that already. I am an empath, and I am an intuitive reader, and I'm some other things too, but, you know, crazy. That's what some people say, but you can be the judge. I will warn you, though, before I start doing any reading, I do have a tendency to cuss, so if that's not your cup of tea, then this might not be the place for you. And I also will not sugarcoat anything that I see. I will tell you as is. I do have some quirky little habits. Sometimes I talk in weird voices. Sometimes I just have these weird little, things that I do. And I guarantee you'll see a lot of this. It's just going to be what it is. And part of it's the glare. Part of it's because I really just struggle sometimes with these bifocals. Like, I can make them work, but they don't always work for me, you know what I mean? So, I'll do the best that I can. Please don't judge. I'm not going to judge you. I've been feeling compelled to do this for quite some time here. I'm going to go. I've been feeling compelled to do this for quite some time, but the last few months have really been like just a real strong tug, so I finally decided I was going to listen, take the plunge, do this thing, and see what happens. I mean, we're all on a journey. We all want answers and, some clarification sometimes. And use your own discernment, use your own intuition. Never completely trust a tarot reader, and I'm not saying because some of us don't know what we're talking about, or some way more experience than me, so, but at the end of the day, you really do need to use your own discernment and intuition in matters. And if something doesn't resonate with you, then it doesn't resonate with you. Just take what does, leave what doesn't. I'm not going to feel bad about it at all. Sometimes I actually like to be told when I'm wrong about something, but this is a collective reading, and this is a timeless reading, so this is geared toward the collective and not just a specific individual. So some things may fit and some things may not. With that being said, I will be using a couple different oracle decks. One is the spellcasting oracle, which I absolutely love. I think it's very beautiful and I just love it. And then I'm going to be using this oracle deck. And this one looks scary, but it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous, and it's, of the decks that I do have, this is probably my favorite. It is the most beautiful, the most healing. And then for the tarot, I'm going to be using the Dreamer's Journal Tarot. And this is also a very beautiful deck. I mean, the imagery is wonderful. I love it. Don't know what to say. I'm not a therapist. I'm going to tell you that. I'm not a therapist, so I will not take accountability for anyone else's stuff. And tarot is in no way a replacement for therapy, so if you need help, please go seek help. sometimes you need an outside view. Um, but yesterday, when I knew that I was doing this, I didn't really know what I was going to be reading on, but I just knew that I needed to read. And after the day that I had the other day, at the end of it, my cousin and I just went and bought a pool, and we set it up in the yard, and we bought a little inflatable beach ball, and we just came home, put our bathing suits on, blew up the pool, filled it up, and didn't fully let it warm up, but let it warm up enough, and we just chilled in the pool, and just laid back and soaked in the sun and left our shoes off, walking through the grass, and it just felt very good to be so connected. I haven't felt that connected in a really long time. And I mean, when I was a kid, I used to always do that stuff, and I had been telling her, sometimes you got to tap back into, the your childhood, and just be free and just enjoy and everything. It was so great. And at the end of it, I was just like, it was such a healing experience. So healing. And I'm just like, wow, this is amazing. And I was so tired when I went to bed, but then it was like, just all of me just felt energized, renewed, I guess. Because I mean, I was tired. I still wanted to sleep, but I just felt, I guess renewed is the best word for it. So all day today as well, I was thinking about healing, and so that's what I'm feeling drawn to deliver today. So I'm going to go ahead and begin. I was going to do all the shuffling and pulling of cards off camera so it didn't take as long, but I didn't want to do that either, so we're just going to do this. Okay. So what needs to be healed is what I was kind of internally asking. I meant to ask out loud so that you guys knew. But anyways, the Ten of Pentacles wanted to pop out. And Pentacles is like, the material things. And 10 represents completion. So, maybe you're completing a financial situation that needs to be healed. Maybe you're going through some financial struggles. But there is light, there is hope, because with this completion is coming healing. So that's what I'm feeling. Let me pull another card. Okay. Tell me more. Tell me more about this. Oh, shoot. So much. Okay. So now I have the Two of Pentacles. I'm not going to take these other ones that fell out, because two of them were face down, so I don't think they wanted to be seen. Here, I'll show you the Ten of Pentacles. So here's the Ten of Pentacles. I mean, in this card, they're looking very happy, but then it's like also a sense of looking on the outside, so looking from the inside out. Kind of, maybe you need to dig inside yourself to see what it is that you need to clear up for some type reconciliation and this completion. And then, yeah, then you have the Two of Pentacles. So the 2 is representing balance, but there's also some choices that are going to have to be made. Let's see, I really need to pull an oracle before I go on any further. This one, what is this related to? I just feel like there's kind of a lack mindset that maybe stems from, like, maybe you didn't just, you know, come about it yourself. Maybe it was something that you were taught, so you've just kind of been stuck in this situation financially or whatever. Or maybe you were at the peak of, you know, success and you just had a little fall and now you're trying to find your way back. But I feel like it's not just finances. Let's see, what does this stem from? Yeah. You're holding on to something. But what you need to understand is that where you currently are is actually a pretty stable environment. It's okay to let go even in the darkness, you know. You're at the shoreline. Like, she's at the shoreline. All she's got to do is stand up. She's not even, you know, but she's stuck. She's stuck in a mindset that she needs to get herself out of. So you got to heal your mind. What else? I need to put these here. What else? Yeah. Maybe this was created from loss. You lost someone or something in your childhood. And it's just created this block that you just can't seem to see your way out of. But these first two cards are, you know, balance and choice and, you know, completion, accomplishment. Maybe you're not seeing the accomplishments that you've made. Maybe this is the entire problem. Maybe you're struggling with self-love and self-worth, so you can't see the things that you've done are actually a success. Maybe when you were a child and whatever it was that you lost or whomever you lost, somewhere in there that created or maybe set you in a situation where you were treated as if nothing you did was good enough. Maybe you couldn't live up to someone's expectations. But you got to stop trying to live up to other people's expectations. I'm going to get real close for a second. You got to stop living up or trying to live up to other people's expectations. Like, you got to know that what you are doing is enough, because that is what is important. You cannot live for someone else. You will never be happy if your entire existence is lived to please others. You just can't do it. That takes such a mental toll, you know, and an emotional toll. You can't keep filling a cup where there's nothing to refill it from. Do you get what I'm saying? You just can't. You have to have nourishment. You have to have... She just looks so lost and abandoned. It's so sad. So sad. I'm gonna pull another tarot card. Okay. So we have more pentacles. Jesus. Maybe this person was a Taurus or a Virgo or a Capricorn. Maybe that's clarification. If this is a person at all. For some of you, it will be. But, oh my gosh. Sorry. I just need to. I mean, I think you're just looking for stability. It's like, there's just this feeling of absolute defeat. Like, as if everything is just not how it should. She's got the moon to light the way, but she doesn't see that. She's lost in what she sees as destruction. But it's really like, I don't know, just turn around. Look, maybe you're not seeing maybe you're just in too much pain to see anything. But you have to trust and you have to let go, and you have to believe in yourself. You have to learn to value you and know that no matter how dark or deep the waters seem, all you have to do is stand up. Maybe you're not standing up for yourself. Maybe because of this mindset, and maybe this mindset has nothing to do with finances for some. For some, maybe it's just the mindset about yourself, and that's what you have to heal. You have to know that you are more, because you are more. You're more than your circumstances, and you're more than your situation, and you're just more than what others think. Only who you truly are. And only you know your deepest, darkest demons. So only you have the ability to defeat them. But you have to want to. You really have to want to. I'm going to pull from this other oracle. How can we heal? That's the guidance we need. Oh, right away. As I was saying, beauty. You have to be able to see the beauty within yourself. You have to, at some point, allow yourself to be vulnerable enough. Because in my personal experience, the only way to find your true beauty is to be vulnerable enough to allow yourself through, and for me it was through loving someone else. I loved them so much, but in that it taught me how to love me when they weren't treating me the way that, I finally started to believe I deserved to be treated. I started setting boundaries for myself, and boundaries is going to create a lot of loss, guaranteed. But boundaries are extremely important, and maybe you are not setting boundaries. You can be vulnerable and have boundaries. You can. But see, we'll cover up that. But she's very vulnerable. I mean, it's not showing anything, but still, I don't know what YouTube will do. Anyways, learn to love yourself. Learn to love yourself. It goes a long way. Because for every time I was shown in this situation how much I wasn't cared about, the more I loved me. And it wasn't necessarily that I wasn't cared about, but they didn't know how to care about themselves, So for everything that was done to me, I learned the opposite about myself. I was just like, that's not me. That's not me. Alright, what else? How else can we heal? There's just such a lack of love for yourself. It's almost... it's just heavy, And I feel kind of sad. Because nobody should not love themselves. Alright, let me get one more card from this deck on how we can heal. Oh, well, goodness me. I don't know, the whole thing, maybe that's why it was just like, nope, not doing it. Not doing it. We're gonna do it alright. Trust me, I know these cards want to talk. And if they don't want to talk, we'll go back to the other deck. But I feel like what we're looking for is here. I think it's just me. Come on, Spirit. I like to have a good time, but I also want to be real. Trying to be real. Okay, this one's stuck, so I'm going to take that. Oh, yeah. See? Confidence. Through self-love will come confidence. This is what you need. You need to find some confidence, even in the little things you know about yourself. There's got to be one thing you like about yourself. You can do it. I believe in you. Look in the mirror. That's what you need to do. She's looking in the mirror. I hope you can see these cards. But she is. She's looking in the mirror. And she's taking a real look at herself, you know. And sometimes we really have to take a real look at ourselves. Because we have to learn to live with both sides, the good and the bad. And we have to make them coexist. And then the things that we don't like, we can work to change those. But this is a lot of healing that needs to take place right here. Because maybe if it's a financial situation that you're struggling with, it's been created out of a lack of confidence and a lack of self-love. Maybe you created your own financial turmoil because you just didn't love yourself enough. You didn't believe in yourself enough. You need to trust in yourself. Believe in yourself. And you can't wait for someone to come along and try to make you feel good. These are temporary things. The only thing that is going to give you lasting, you know, whatever, is how you feel about yourself. Because you have to know who you are. So take a look in the mirror. Face some hard truths that maybe you've been ignoring. And then, you know, try to forgive yourself. You need to forgive yourself. I don't know what you did, but you need to forgive yourself. There's a lot of hurt. You are good enough. And no matter what others have thought of you, it's time to stand on your own 2 feet and let go. Because you know who you